Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun. Hey!
I kind of spit on your computer, too.
We're good.
Is it all the way over here?
Nah, we're good. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday, even though it's only fucking Wednesday.
Thanks to everyone that listened to the Kishwaukee Brewing.
Yeah.
We have so many new followers, new listeners.
Welcome.
Thanks, everybody. Hope you're on this one now too, listening.
Welcome to our inappropriateness.
Mm-hmm.
I saw we
behaved ourselves last week. This week's going to get raw again.
Well, we got a message from somebody that's like, "Oh, I'm the PR for a couple companies," and you're like, "Just so you know,
I gave them a warning. We are a comedy podcast.
We say fuck a lot."
Yeah. I almost wanted to put we're pretty raw. And then we had the conversation back and forth, and all of a sudden we knew somebody who knew somebody, small
really?
world type thing.
Oh, good, yeah.
And then so then she said, "No, I would never bring him on your podcast. I've been listening to some of your episodes." She goes, "But these other two will definitely be on. They're real funny." So we got to plan that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
good.
so fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
So you came to the house.
Looking like garbage.
We've both had very long days. We are recording a little bit later than normal.
Yesterday and today. Mm-hmm. Yesterday we were supposed to record.
Yes.
Usually we do Tuesday nights. And I was like, you were like, "Oh my God, I'm just leaving the store. I'm not even going to be home till 6.
Yep.
And I know I was at that store.
Yep.
Because prepping for their walk.
You must have been right in front of me.
Right before you got there.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to be in stores tomorrow, but then I have a 4
cool.
p.m. So I'll leave here around 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning, and I have a
good.
4 p.m. call. So tomorrow will be a long call too. Then I'll have this to edit. Meaning because we're recording on Wednesday right now. Everyone's listening on Friday. So it'll be a long week, but it'll be worth it because I don't have too many meetings on Friday.
Yeah.
The walk will be done, so I won't have to worry too much, but it'll just,
I'm
a few
over
days.
it.
Yeah, I'm over it, but I mean, I get it. Everyone else has long
Yeah.
days too. It's just been a long week.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm still catching up. I took a 4-day weekend last weekend,
yeah.
and I felt like I just have not caught up
Yes.
yet. And then I was in stores yesterday. I'm in stores tomorrow. I was at the office today. So I kind of feel like I need that extra, even though I don't have meetings on Friday, I need that catch-up day. I need to go through and make sure I didn't miss anything. Like this morning, I sent an email out and I said, I thought I responded. I'm so sorry. We'll take a look at this. And it was from like last Friday, So
shoot.
they're fine.
Yeah.
They know where to find me. They can call me. So, but it's just one of those weeks. Yeah.
I do that every time I go down to Florida. I come back and I'm like, fuck, I'm so far behind
Oh,
now.
yeah. And even sometimes, you know that people will take care of it. Or if you put an out of office on and say for, not urgent requests or not emergencies, but, for super urgent requests, here's someone you can reach out to. Or
I never do that.
I was actually talking to one of your bosses yesterday. We were kind of laughing about a few things, and she said that she had an out of office and it said for urgent matters, call my cell phone. Big mistake.
Oh no.
People were calling her cell phone while she was on vacation. I'm like,
God.
oh no. So then I got an out of office from her today because she's in stores, and I think it said for really urgent matters.
She's like, seriously. If you don't really need it, don't fucking call me.
I said, you were too nice on that first one. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So you came here
in jeans, in a shirt.
Super cute shirt. It's blue with like long but like bigger sleeves, and it has sequins on it or sparkles.
Yeah.
But you said you have another one that's like on your chest. Yeah. There's another shirt.
It's a short sleeve, just like this, but it has a pocket of sequins, and I can't wear it because it cuts my arm.
Wow. You don't realize how many times you hit your breast during the day?
I told Johnny, I must just rub my arm up against my tit all day long.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't notice it unless you have something very sharp on your tit that you keep cutting your arm on.
I guess that makes sense because you're constantly moving forward. Your arms are going forward. Like you're doing the resets right now, right?
So it's like right here. It's like, above my elbow gets like so raw. So I threw that shirt in the garbage. I kept this one because it's long sleeve. But this is one of my garbage shirts too, because I'm doing meat resets.
And
it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's just the juices and the.
Oh God, I don't know.
It's not the purge because that's chicken, but maybe it is some purge too. Yeah,
there's a couple places. So we're doing the meat wall. So like you walk up and you got your grounds and your steaks and your pork chops and maybe like sausages and whatnot. But some of the stores have their chicken up there too.
Okay.
And those are the most disgusting. Like, I don't care. You can clean it like twice a week and it's still, chicken is always leaky. Like ground beef is always leaky, but it doesn't like stink like chicken does. Ugh. I'm so over it. I'm so over this.
You would think someone would invent some kind of packaging that doesn't leak by now.
I don't know, because even, some, like, obviously if it's a saran wrap and they wrap it and then, you set it on that like heated pad to like kind of shrink wrap it.
Yeah, to seal it.
So I could see those leaking, right? But most of these chicken packages, they're like vacuum sealed. And they still freaking leak right out of the box. And it's funny because I was at the store where they're getting a walk on Friday. That you were at the same one. And, the poor manager, he's freaking out because I'm there to do the meat reset. And he's like, well, we're having a walk. And I'm like, well, then you definitely want it done. And then there was a manager from another store and he was like, I don't know if you should do it. Hold on. Don't start yet. And he calls like the upper management, and the upper management's like, absolutely, let her do it. Get it done. Whatever. We got this walk coming. So, he's like a kid, the meat manager. And he's just freaking out. And I was like, dude, it's fine. Like, you're fine. Me and one of the coworkers just went and totally, I'm going to talk shit about one of my bosses for a minute. Because he was like, okay, we've talked about the frozen meals.
Does he listen? You don't know. Oh, we don't know. Okay.
I'm going to talk shit about you, though. We rep these frozen meals, right? And we set them up in the bunkers, right? So the bunkers are the frozen or refrigerated places that you shop, in the middle of the section, whatever. So most stores, you're yawning.
I'm yawning. Sorry. I'm not bored with your story at all. I'm so exhausted. I was trying to hold it in, but then my nose was flaring. I'm like, I'm just going to look silly. I'm going for it. I'm yawning right now. I didn't even cover my mouth. I was just like,
Okay, so we set all those sets. And most bunkers have like a center. And then on each end, they have kind of a sideways, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it from the front, everything in front of you is horizontal. And then there's two vertical ends.
So there's three or four areas that you can grab from as a customer.
So this store doesn't have that. It's just a 40-foot long straight bunker. There is no end bunkers, right?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
So all the stores, we had put that product in one of the end bunkers. Well, since this store doesn't have those end bunkers, we put it at one end of the 40-foot bunker. So my boss gets a hold of me and says, hey, can you and your coworker go? We got to shift everything in there and move that product to the middle of the bunker.
Okay.
They want it in the middle of the bunker. Sure, no problem. That'll take us 2 hours.
You're just moving stuff down. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Shift everything, take it out, shift everything down, put it in the middle, label it.
Yeah.
Done. We had to flip the whole fucking bunker and reset it.
Oh, no. Wait, why?
Because none of it was right.
Oh, no. Because you had the plan in front of you and you were like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I was like, I look at the kid, the manager, this is the same store that's getting the walk. Stop yawning.
I'm so sorry. What is going on?
And I was like, dude, none of this is right. And he's like, well, so-and-so said as long as, and I go, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to fucking do this again.
Yeah.
So I got two store directors and then they grabbed somebody. I was like, get this shit out. Mm-hmm. This 16 feet of shit out. God. Doesn't belong in here. They were like, okay, no problem. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I was like, you want this shit done right? You fucking work with me here, So, and I love the one store director. He's like, because then I was there a couple days later doing the meat reset. And he's like, well, shit, we're going to have to put you on our payroll. I go, I'll take a double paycheck anytime. I live at this store practically. What the hell, But yeah, so I was like, told my boss, I was like, yeah, we completely flipped the fucking bunker. And he was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you would have to do that. Yeah, right. He knew. I guarantee he knew.
Was he at a store himself?
No. He was like, oh yeah, I'll send some people over there to take care of that. Hey, Cass, I got a job for you.
Oh my God.
So me and the coworker, we had to do that. And then we have a very big company that we rep. The owner, you know who it is. Mm-hmm. You've seen him. Mm-hmm. He's a hot Italian guy. Mm-hmm. he's coming for a walk. So we had to just go to the store, make sure everything was in stock, make sure everything was labeled.
One of the same stores that are getting walked on Friday, or a different one? This is a different one. Oh, okay.
Totally different one. So I was like, cool. I tell my coworker, I was like, we're going to have a half day. Like, we're going to go move this shit to the middle, and then we're going to go over here.
Never plan a half day.
We left late. We left fucking like half hour late.
I learned years ago to never say, this is going to be easy. Yeah. I'm going to be done by 1. Yeah. Never, ever.
Motherfuckers.
You know what? Every day when you wake up, retail people say this is going to be a long ass day. And then hopefully it's shorter. Don't ever say this is going to be a short day, because something always happens.
I'm doing a meat reset today. And this girl, this meat manager that I'm working with, she's brand new. Mm-hmm. She was, they call it a level 4.
Okay.
She was right under the manager. And she got promoted.
They have different levels for their managing.
Yeah. And she got promoted to meat manager. She has her own store meat managing, right? And so she's never been through this process before. And it sucks.
A reset process?
Yeah.
Oh.
It sucks. Okay. We have strips that we put into the sleeves, I call them, right? So that's the front of the shelf. Strip goes in there. It tells you where everything goes. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I walk in, I rip out all the tags, I rip out the old strips, and I'm like, this girl has no strips. So that means the meat manager before her just basically did whatever they wanted. They ripped out the strips because they moved everything, right?
Sure.
And it's like understandable. They're going to move some stuff around. Maybe, something they know that doesn't sell, they're going to face over with something they know does, whatever. But I'm not here to judge. I'm here to do my job, and just let me do my job. Let me take my pictures. What you do with it after that, I don't care. Mm-hmm. She was having a meltdown.
Oh, no.
Like, this is terrible. I only have 1 facing of ground turkey. Like, I went from 5 facings of ground turkey to 1 facing of ground turkey.
I never will understand that.
I don't understand that either. Yeah. They do it all the time. Then they add all these new products, and either they don't sell or they sell okay, but like they have them in a bunker on sale all the time because it's a new product. So why do you need a spot on the shelf too?
Yeah. I have a question for you.
What?
So, and it's pertaining to this. So a lot of times you go into a store to do the reset and they say, wait, I only have 1 spot for ground chicken. I only have 2 spots for ground turkey when I had, a 4-foot section. Are all the plans in every store the same?
Pretty much.
So what they do is they just take from the top numbers and then decide how to make the plan. They don't go store by store. I mean, I'm sure that would just take forever.
They have to go store by store somewhat.
Because the footage, right, is different.
Right. Like some have 40 feet of meat and some have 25.
Yeah.
So, those stores that only have 25 feet, they're only going to get 1 facing. The stores that have 40 feet, they might get 2 or 3.
No matter what the sales are.
Right. Because they have the room for it, know? Mm-hmm. But the stores that have 25 feet, they'll sacrifice something else to make sure they have, I mean, it was funny because I usually start at the ground turkey side and work my way into beef grinds, and then you got your beef cuts, then you got your pork cuts, then you got like your pork products, and then you have like your miscellaneous kind of stuff. Okay. That's generally
plant-based is in there too.
Yep, plant-based starts off.
Okay, because that's usually where we shop.
Yeah, it starts off with plant-based.
Oh, okay.
And by the time I get past the ground turkey, so I took her 4 facings of ground turkey down to 1, and they're only allowed to be 2 high, so you can fit 6 in a spot. And I get down to like the beef grinds. I turn around, the ground turkey's empty already.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, well, good thing I have some overstock right here. I'm just going to fill that up again,
Oh, gosh.
And and she forgot that today was a meat reset. So I got there at 6, and I'm like, okay, she should be here soon. And then I'm like, I didn't see her. And I like asked one of the people working, like, hey, where's my girl at? And they're like, oh, she should be here probably about 7. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. She didn't get there until like 10.
Oh, no.
She walked in like this. Oh, my God, I forgot. And I was like, I'm almost done, bro. But I stayed there till noon because then I was trying to help her. Like, I generally don't help. I go, all right, you guys are free to do whatever the hell you want. But she was just like, oh my God. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God,
So when I was doing meat resets up in Wisconsin, it was a trend that the meat manager would not show up that day.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of them take the day off.
They took the day off. You go reset, stock what you need. Some of them would show up, like if you did a morning reset, they would know you'd be there from 4 hours, right? Each at store. Least, so
we used to do them as a team. It would be two people and we would hit 2 stores. Yeah. But now you're doing one a day. We're doing one a day. And then continuity after that or whatever. You try. Yeah. Sometimes I'm sure it's probably all day meat resets. So the funny thing is though, up in Wisconsin, and I mean, I didn't notice this in Illinois. I'm just saying Wisconsin because I noticed it there. We would get there, the manager wouldn't show up. We would work from, let's say 6 to 10. Yeah. By noon, the VP would be calling saying, so-and-so was just at his store and took pictures and this is what it looks like. And it's like, well, here's my pictures. That's not what it looked like. Right. So they would come in later and then readjust everything, reset everything after we were there. And I tell them, after I take my pictures and show that I did what I was here to do. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what you do. Yeah. But you are going to reap the repercussions or whatever.
Because you were the last one that they know touched everything. Right. So
when
like we always say, document everything, take pictures of everything. That's right. I still do it. Yeah. Yesterday, I still did it. I took before and after pictures just out of habit. Yeah. My boss didn't want to see the before pictures. Actually, nobody wanted to see the pictures. I shared them in an email saying, here's what you're going to walk into on Friday during the walk. Yeah. But I took before and afters just so they could, if anything was brought up. Do we know
who's walking on Friday? Yeah. I heard it was like shareholders. But that's what I ran into. Now we go to the store to, prep for this VIP customer. I call them a customer, whatever. Really, we're the customer of them because they sell us their shit to sell in the store.
Sure.
But, and I say to the store director, hey, this guy's coming. I don't give a fuck. I don't work for him. I was like, wow. I don't think that the vice president of the company you work for would appreciate you talking about them like that, and then they pull their shit out of the store, you know?
That happened to me yesterday. I said, hey, just so you know, and he kind of gave me a wave off, I know 5,000 people have told me, just do your stuff and get out of here. And he's actually a store director that I get along with that I've known for 5 years.
Was it Bob or Ryan? I'm not... Because I know.
Those are just
you got to edit those names.
It was Dan, Bob, Ryan, Joe.
It was him. Joe Bob.
Yeah.
I know. But those are the guys that I was like, get this shit out of here. They were like, yes, ma'am. We are on top of it.
That's so funny.
I like both of those guys.
I love Bob.
Too. Yeah. Bob's the best.
He's a hard worker. By the end of the day, his shirt's untucked. Dude, he's sweaty.
He's always giving me high fives and elbows. He's like, good job. And I'm like, go away. Let me do my shit. Stop running around me. He just runs around all day.
Oh, he does. Oh my gosh. You know what though? He's been in many different stores. Yes. And that's why they keep moving him around, because he gets the stuff done. He follows plan. He does We had the Italian visitor in one of his stores, and it was so hard for him to allow me to put extra incremental displays up. Yeah. And he's like, as long as you're here to take it down as soon as they walk out the door. And I was. I made sure I was. Yeah. And it was fine. But he's really to plan, and I think more, and he's positive. He's not one of those store directors that want to be to plan, but then want to be a jerk about it. He will do it. He'll make sure. He'll go look at his computer and say, okay, we're going to work on this section today or this department today. Yeah. And he'll go, and he gets it all done. And then, okay, keep it like that until this walk is over.
He's one of those guys that carries a box cutter. He's always working. Yes. I love that guy.
Our favorite store director did too. He would hang out in paper and fill our paper for us for the night. So you were talking about getting 2 paychecks. Because they were... And on the train ride home today, I was looking up the highest paying retail jobs, and I sent you the link and thought, let's talk about it.
I'm going to look at it with you.
Now, I want everyone to remember that this is highest paying retail jobs. So it may not seem like a lot to others that maybe make a little bit more, or it may seem more to others that only work part-time and don't make. So we're kind of in the middle here. So there's no judgment, I guess, is what I'm saying here. I'm just reading it from an article.
For here?
Yeah.
The cost of living in the city. The cost of living in LA.
Yeah.
The cost of living in Kentucky.
Anywhere. Texas.
So the median is $12.23.
Right.
Is what they average for the United States, which is disgusting.
And this is actually from 2022. This is this year.
Yes.
So it's the interviewguys.com top 15 highest paying retail jobs in 2022.
Yes.
So once again, no judgment. This is just what it says. We're going with it. Here's what's going on. You may be getting paid more,
Why is there
less,
so many
whatever.
ads? God, get off of my phone.
So the first one is,
I just closed out 3 of them.
I do absolutely love this store, is a Costco associate.
Yeah.
Now it's number 1, and it says that the minimum wage is $15 an hour. Can I say that I feel like that's okay for this area? I mean, it could always be more.
Good for here. Yeah.
It's good for this area.
Yep.
And when we go, there are many, many employees there.
Yes.
They're
not working skeleton crew.
They are absolutely not. As a matter of fact, they're in the one that we go to, you walk not through the break room, but like through the hallway that gets you to the break room to get to the public bathrooms.
Yeah.
And there's always at least 10 people sitting in the break room, which means there's, quadruple the amount on the floor.
Right.
Because these people are having their break. And so you just know, like, that there's a lot of people working.
Oh, and on this website, they even have the Costco interview questions.
Oh,
you can click on that and see and be super prepared to wow them.
Let's see what it says. So now it takes us to an ad that's for Swiftly. So fuck that. All right, let's go back.
Fuck that.
That's a fuck that link. Thanks so much. All right, the next one, number 2, is beauty consultant.
And this blows my mind. It says an above average retail pay rate of $13.27.
So beauty consultant. So that would be like Ulta?
That would be like the Macy's counter where they do your makeup, I would guess.
Yeah, it says in exchange for, what is it in exchange for? Along with a high amount of product knowledge, you also need the ability to demonstrate how various items are used.
Yeah. It says beauty consultants don't just sell products to customers. Instead, they go beyond the basics, helping them choose the right options and at times even handling some mini makeovers along the way.
Now, I feel like when I see people at Macy's that they're getting paid more. Just, I don't know if it's the way they dress Macy's, and it's the makeup. And do they get paid commission? We'll have to ask.
Probably.
So maybe this is an average retail pay rate of $13.27 an hour, but they get bonuses, commission. We're not sure, right? I've never been a beauty consultant.
Me neither.
Obviously, I can barely put on.
If you saw me today, you'd be like, oh, that's garbage. Who put that garbage on that? Who put lipstick on that pig?
Like beef. Speaking of, did you see Sissy Snapchats?
Oh my God. I love that pig.
Jay's pig was like lounging outside and like barely no effort trying to eat a carrot today. I was showing all my coworkers.
Sounds like you got to get up. She's just like,
I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a pig. And I was showing all my, that's why I wanted to replay it. I don't know if you noticed that in our group. I'm like, replay. I'm like, I don't want to
be just any pig. I want to be Jay's pig.
Yeah.
Like, she eats good.
So spoiled.
She gets a huge yard to just root and snoot.
Do they ever get her in the pool or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
Do pigs sink?
Out of the pool. I think pigs can swim. They got that pig island that you can go swim with the pigs.
Oh, gosh.
It's like there's one in Hawaii, I think.
No kidding. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they can. Yeah. I don't know if Sissy would, but.
Yeah, no. I don't think she would sink because she's pretty fat. Fat floats.
Oh, does it?
Muscle sinks.
Okay.
That's why you can't float because you're all muscle.
So many people have tried to teach me how to float and I cannot. Do I take a deep breath? I'm like, then I still just drop to the bottom. I'm like, well, I would never survive. That's why you're not going to see me on cruises.
No.
That's it. I fly to the island. I stay on the island. That's it. That's it. Julia and Timmy are going on a cruise. Yes. And that's the first thing I thought of. Like, do you both know how to swim in case this decides to become the Titanic?
If you fall off the side or whatever, you're not surviving.
I know. So don't even put that thought into my head because I don't want to think about my kid.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
Falling.
Worst thing they're going to get is COVID.
They probably will. Bring it back again. Ooh, her dad will be so mad. He almost killed us when we came back from New York with COVID.
He'd be so pissed.
He was like, all I do is stay at home and here you guys are having fun and you bring me COVID home.
Well, maybe you should go out and have a little more fun. Sorry, Steve. You're going to get it anyways. Might as well enjoy it. That's actually, me and Bob were talking about COVID, and I was like, yeah, I had it 3 times. He's like, are you fucking kidding? He's like, I never got it. I go, yeah, well, I didn't give a shit. I traveled. I hung out with my friends. Yeah. I did not, y'all can hate me if you want, but I didn't change my life. I'm sorry.
I was just having that conversation yesterday with someone. We were on a call and everyone was like, yeah, I'm just not used to going out and it's so weird. And I don't, and I said, that's what I said. I go, you know what? I never stopped. I mean, maybe like the first 2 months, like March and April of 2020, I was like,
we were speakeasying.
Oh, true. Yeah. See, and I didn't. I was like, nah. But I have young adults at home, so it was fun. We were doing our own thing here. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, this is not going to happen. Yeah. This just can't happen. I just
searched out all the places that were. Yeah.
We're fortunate to live by the border, too. Yeah. There were different rules, different regulations in each state, so that helps.
At different times. Yeah, we did go up to Wisconsin a couple times.
Anyways, number 3 is pharmacy technician.
Pharmacy tech, our favorite people.
Yep.
Give us our drugs.
So it says part-time retail job or part medical job. Pharmacy technicians help patients get their prescriptions. Along with dispensing medication under the guidance of the pharmacist, they typically have cashiering and customer service responsibilities.
Okay.
Yeah, I read this one and I'm very interested in this. So along the way, you could make around $34,000 a year with relative ease.
That's garbage.
To put up with all the crazy customers like me,
right?
I cannot even imagine.
No. And then it's like, but you could work your way up to over 49,000.
Yeah.
Well,
it's certainly possible.
I would hope so.
It's certainly possible. Which, you know what? Not bad. 49, 50,000.
Maybe they figure
this is part-time they're talking, right? I'm sorry. It's part retail job, part medical job. I'm sorry. I thought I was saying it was part-time.
They're like, if we start them out at 34,000, they'll just start taking drugs and we'll never have to pay them more.
Right. They'll be happy. Oh. They won't complain about anything.
They'll be too
Even if
high.
they miss a paycheck, they'll be like, meh.
They'll be too high to complain.
Oh, gosh. So what I found was interesting is this says Mike's tip. It must be the writer from the interviewguys.com.
I just
it says pharmacy technician is one of the few medical jobs that don't require a college degree. Instead, it's completely possible to get started with as little as a high school diploma. If you want to combine customer service with the medical field and want to avoid student loan debt, it's a great way to go.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that's not bad. Thanks, Mike, for that tip. Buyer, go ahead. You want to read that one?
No.
Your job is to communicate with manufacturers and suppliers, allowing you to acquire products that your company will use to stock its shelves. The median annual salary for buyers is around $64,000.
And this is crazy because I was talking to one of the produce managers at one of my stores, and he was offered a job as a buyer at a competitor store for $90,000. Oh, wow. So it just all
depends on, like anywhere, it depends on the place. Yeah. Depends on the company.
And he was like, you know what? Like, I make okay money here. He's like, and I have like vacation time and my seniority and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So
creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep. So LP manager, which is loss prevention manager. So it looks like, which this one also made me think, but once again, I'm sure these are all averages. I'm sure Mike and the interview guys did their job. So loss prevention manager, you oversee a store's shoplifting and vandalism reduction efforts. It says that you could earn an average salary of $38,500 a year.
That's probably how much I made when I was an LP.
Really?
Yeah.
With no bonuses, no commission on, let's say you caught the bad guy on a Friday night, nothing.
Nope.
Is it hourly? Do you get paid overtime?
It was hourly.
For hanging out all night if you wanted to watch someone?
It was hourly it was overtime after 40.
Okay.
So if you worked 4 10s, either they're going to tell you stay home,
Oh, I see.
Or if they really need you, then,
It would have to be pretty important too. Some of these weren't surprising. Some of them I was like, I can see it. This one I felt was low to me.
Well, that's like
I feel like that's huge in a store.
The other day when I was store director in charge and I was running the service desk and running a cash register and in charge of the whole store, and they were paying me $13.50 an hour to do that.
For which job?
They trusted me to not let the store burn down for $13.50 an hour. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be the first one out the door.
You know what I thought of? Do you remember when we worked together that there was only certain people that could call 911?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this?
No.
So I remember that if someone got hurt, or if someone was murdered, or if someone fell,
or if the store was on fire,
or there was some sort of emergency, the lights were out, or people were being threatened,
there was
whatever.
Like designated people.
There were designated people to call 911, and most of them were the store director. And now this was a rumor. I had never seen this happen because I actually had to call 911 once. No one ever talked to me about it, so it must have been it fell under the policy or whatever, and maybe I was store director. Like in charge or whatever, I'm doing quotes like at the time. But I remember that they said that you could like lose your job for calling 911 or something.
Well,
do you remember that?
Yeah, because that takes me back to when the people were burning the candle in the van, the homeless people.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And it was like when I called 911, I had to do it anonymously because like if the store found out that like while I was working, I called 911 about a situation happening outside.
In the parking lot?
Yeah. Or people would be like, somebody left their dog in the hot car. And we'd be like, well, if you want to call 911, you know.
Oh, but why though?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if you knew that.
I do know that like, if there was a situation, because I did do one time, and our secret squirrel friend will laugh at this because she had done it too, I believe. We had to do a pump test, right? So we had to test the pumps to make sure if there was a fire, the sprinkler system was operating correctly, right?
And wasn't there a pump room?
Yes.
Okay.
And you had to go in there and like shut this off, turn this off, do this. But before you did any of that, you had to call the alarm company and say, can you put it in test mode for an hour?
Yes, I do remember that.
Remember? Mm-hmm. So I called them. Nobody was answering. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And then here's the fire marshal.
Whoops.
That costs the store money.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, so when they have to come out and it's not as important as maybe they thought it was, like they charge you.
So along with the fire marshal, who else joins him?
A whole fire team.
Oh, that's great. Did you get any phone numbers?
Because they think the sprinkler system went off. There's a fire. Oh, you know, so
gotcha.
Like that's the alarm company they like immediately. There ain't nobody calling 911. There ain't no sirens going off in the store. No sprinkler. It immediately calls the fire department. Okay. Because we're such a big building. They have to get it under control immediately.
Sure. Makes sense. And there's a lot of liability. I mean, there's millions. Okay.
So, yeah, I learned my lesson that day.
Okay. I was wondering about that. So, I don't sleep great at night. So I wake up and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll have to ask her about that on the podcast. That was one of them. So I'm glad I remembered, or else I would have gotten up tonight going, I forgot. Write it down.
You needed no.
I just remember that people, and it was like seasoned people that had been there forever. Like maybe even Bestie knows the answer. Yeah. But they said, don't call 911. Let the store director do it. Or there was a reason. Maybe we can ask our favorite store director.
I feel like
when he calls
even at the gas station, if the gas station was on fire, you didn't call 911 first. You called the store director first.
And asked for permission not to blow up.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Have you ever seen a fire at the gas station? Did you ever see one?
I never saw it, but there was a garbage can was on fire.
Okay, that's a little scary.
I came in the next day, and one of my coworkers was like, we need this extinguisher replaced. I had to use it, and I was like,
oh my
what the fuck happened? And he was like, it was just a garbage can. Like, they weren't worried about it at all. I was like, we're just sitting on 60,000 gallons of flammable fuel.
I saw a video. I don't even think it was TikTok. Funny. I don't even know why I was on anything else except for TikTok. But it was a video, and a guy was probably intoxicated, and he was smoking, and you saw someone come out, and they were kind of having an argument, and he was smoking, and he goes, oh yeah, MFer, and he threw the cigarette down on the ground, and his leg caught on fire and went up his body.
God.
And he was like pumping gas at a pump.
Because you know how many times I saw stupid people. I shouldn't say stupid people because I do it all the time. But people will walk away from the pump and just let it pump, and it's just pouring out.
Oh, I totally do that. I absolutely go in and buy my lottery tickets.
Out? No.
Well, I don't let it pour out. Yeah.
I'm like,
unless I want to spend more money.
Me and this guy are talking, chit-chatting, whatever, and somebody comes running in like, who's got the Camaro on pump 10? There's gas everywhere.
No. Oh my
I'm like, stop. Emergency stop.
Does that shut all the pumps down? Emergency stop?
Well, you have two options. You can hit the big red button. Okay. That shuts everything down.
Do you have to call the store director for that too?
No,
or no?
You just hit that shit and then you call him.
Okay.
So that's probably what you would hit If there was a fire, emergency stop, then store director, then 911.
Oh my gosh.
But you do have the option to turn off individual pumps.
Oh,
you can just hit stop pump. You know, so.
You know what's funny is a friend of mine just had like a 1-year anniversary of when she accidentally took off with it still pumping.
God.
I think she shared the memory and she just wrote good times. And it's like sticking out of her car.
The worst I've done is pulled off without closing my gas cap.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, when I first started my job that I have now, I was not used to putting gas in my car like every day, every other day.
Yeah.
And like 3 days in a row, I'm driving, I'm doing 70 miles an hour. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? And I look in my mirror and it's just my gas cap. Like,
oh gosh.
Oh, fuck, I did it again.
And it didn't give you an error or like an alert?
No. Oh. My car's not that new.
I feel like they all do it though.
I've probably 1 year newer, I would have had all the fancy stuff.
I mean, even in my older car, if I didn't tighten it enough, it would show me that like the check engine light. I remember pulling in somewhere. I'm like, oh, great. You know, I'm supposed to be going somewhere, you know, probably into the city or something. This was a couple of years ago. And so I pulled into a parts place and I'm like, hey, you got one of those things that plug in? And, you know, I don't know what I'm doing with cars.
Test my codes.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, this is usually like a gas cap or something. So I'm like, all right. So I adjusted it. She goes, restart your car 3 times. Sure enough, it went away.
Really?
Yep, I just didn't tighten it enough.
The hell?
I know. She was good. She helped me. It was great.
And why would that put on your fucking check engine light?
Can't it just give me a little gas cap?
You know what? Because that's how they make money.
Because then they go in.
Take it to the dealership.
Gosh.
Well, we don't know, but we got the light to turn off. $85, please.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
Speaking of getting cars, I think I talked about this with my tires.
Yes.
Okay, so my car was still at the place.
Yes.
Larry is lucky that he's very, very nice.
Oh my God, Larry.
Because
I love Larry.
They send me a link and it's all these things that are wrong with my car. And he goes, call me as soon as you can. Yep. So he was like, you know, we did check the filters. You probably need that. We actually checked your battery. And so I'm like, I'm doing the math. I've had this car for like 3 years.
Yeah.
It's got 90,000 miles on it from all the travel that we do. I'm like, okay, it probably needs a battery. Okay, fine. I'll get a couple filters.
Don't get the filter. You can replace the filters yourself.
I don't do any type of.
I don't
Anyone
either.
listening that's like a mechanic, I don't do anything with my car. So you can rip me.
I motherfucking put gas in that shit and go.
I know how to
check
the oil
when it tells me.
I know how to check the oil because my other one, remember I had to get a whole new engine under warranty on my old car. I had that Dodge Dart.
Yes, the
and
lemon.
It would always.
Okay, so I know that Dodge doesn't own Ram anymore. It's like Ram is its own thing, but there's been so many people complaining about Ram also.
Oh no, what is happening?
So it was a few years ago. It was the death shake where you would be driving and it would just be like like all crazy. And then this guy's like, I just had my truck. He had like, it was like a 2021 Ram. And he's like, I just had it in there because like the backup camera isn't working. Like something electrical is going on. His phone won't hook up to it. Oh. And the dealership's like, well, your phone's not compatible with it. What fucking phone like past 2015 isn't compatible to hook up Bluetooth?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You tell it, oh, I have to buy a new phone to go with my car. How come you don't offer it then? You know,
Jeez.
Like only this phone is compatible with the Ram. You got to have a Ram phone, you know?
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, his shit's all fucked up. And they're like, you have a lemon, take it back. And it's not easy.
That's what happened with my Dodge. I had to go a couple times to the dealership until they finally said, you know what? Yep, we're going to put this through. And I got a whole new engine under warranty.
And then you traded that bitch.
It just burned oil.
Yeah.
I got into an accident with it. I got smashed by those 2 cars. And then just like, I had 4 days to pick out a new car. So thank goodness I worked at a dealership in Highland Park. I just walked into the owner. I said, I need a new car. He was like, I got something for you.
Oh my
and that
God.
was it. So, okay. So cosmetic manager.
Yes.
Cosmetics manager. So your duties mainly focus on overseeing a beauty department. So I guess this is the Macy's then, right? That we talked about, or the Marshall Fields, or the mall, I guess we should say. So it says on average, cosmetics managers earn $17.83 per hour. However, the top 10% can bring in $25.36 per hour, potentially equating to about $53,000 a year if you work full time.
$25. Wow.
An hour to sell makeup, right? And perfume and
It says, okay, but it says often cosmetic managers train new and existing beauty consultants and techniques approved by each brand. Additionally, they may assist with more complex customer questions, handle consultant hiring, and ensure the department runs smoothly. That's a lot of fucking dealing with people's bullshit.
That's a lot.
Like,
and I know someone from Iowa that worked at a mall, and she did makeup and perfume, I believe. She would go back, and she had a lot of nice things. So either she had a lot of credit card debt, or she did very well at where she worked.
I'm voting credit card debt. Him and his wife were looking for a new house. They want to sell their house. They wanted to move closer to one of their parents. I don't know. They live up in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Houses are generally a little cheaper up in Wisconsin, but it's still going up there. And so they're looking at, and they're like fucking fighting people over these piece of shit houses that are way overpriced. They're going to need a ton of money invested into just to get it to where they would want it.
Oh, gosh.
He said, I was embarrassed. We walked through this house that I didn't even really want to consider. I didn't like it, but we were like, we're just going to go look at it. He's like, and it was trashed. Like,
no.
Kids had lived, the people who lived there before had kids, and it was just, there's crayon everywhere. And like, they didn't even try to clean the shit up, know? And it's way overpriced. So he happened to come across this builder and said, hey, you got any houses you're building right now? And the guy goes, yep, I got one right now. It's framed out. This is the price. It'll be ready in November, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? They get to pick everything in it.
Yeah.
And he's paying less.
Yeah.
Than that piece of shit house covered in crayon.
Yeah. Can we talk about a mess real quick?
Yeah.
I thought about this last night.
I'm a mess.
Why do I think of the craziest stuff? Listen to this. So I'm walking through my bedroom and I have I have a treadmill desk now.
Yes.
The boxes are still in my closet. Because we had to send off stuff in the garbage that wasn't that because we cleaned out a storage unit. Okay. They've been on the back burner for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So those are sitting in there. They're up against the wall. I walk past them and think, I got to take those outside. I will do it this week on Friday. Today, actually. Those that are listening, they're gone now.
Today she took out her boxes.
Then I'm looking around and I have a bra sitting on my dresser. And then I have the cords for this computer because I was really tired last week. So I kind of rested in bed and did some editing and, posted some stuff. And then the computer's sitting there. And then I have a whole bag of receipts from many, many years ago because I was cleaning stuff sitting somewhere. And then I have
What are you doing with the bag of receipts? Throw that shit away.
Exactly. I'm cleaning, but it doesn't look like I'm cleaning.
But you're just making
There's
more
an
messes.
Extension cord in the corner that anyone that breaks into my house is going to strangle me with it. And so I'm thinking of all this stuff and I'm thinking, oh my God, if that person comes in and strangles me with this cord, they're going to take pictures of my bedroom and I'm going to be on Dateline or 2020 with the messiest fucking bedroom ever.
Crime scene photos.
And they're horrible. Why are they all so horrible?
Everyone will be like, look at this pig with her bag of receipts in her empty box. Who just leaves a bra on the dresser?
I know. And I got my my backpack from going downtown is sitting sideways, but not neatly. I'm like, this is it. This is where I die. And they're going to take these pictures and it's going to be all over the TV.
You die in filth.
Do you ever watch those shows and you're like, oh my God, look at that room.
Okay.
I probably forgot to flush the toilet. So they're going to take pictures of that. There's going to be a turd in there.
It's
my towels will be on the floor. Laundry will be over the hamper, over the basket. Toothpaste is inside the sink. I'm like, get your shit together, woman.
So this is what I think, every day you leave with clean underwear, right? You just took it to a whole new extreme. Okay, but if you are a Hoarders fan, I love watching Hoarders.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm the type of person, it makes me feel better about my mess, right?
To watch a show like that?
My counters are a little cluttered, but it's not bags of poop piled up.
Right.
So it makes me feel better. Now my friend Todd is total opposite. If he watches Hoarders, he's he has to get up and clean, and his house is so clean, like yours.
Yeah.
And they got two little kids.
Yeah, that you're constantly cleaning up after.
He freaks out oh my God, there's toys everywhere. Who cares? They're toys, he can't handle that.
Right.
So when he watches Hoarders, he's like, ugh, it's disgusting. We're going to turn into that if I don't mop the floors right now. So I follow this page on Facebook, and it's called Messy Houses. Messy houses you have to zoom in on.
Oh.
And it'll be like, somebody will like post a mirror for sale or like an end table for sale. And you're just like zooming in on the picture because you see their dirty mattress with no sheets on it. No. And it'll be like ashtrays spilt on the floor. People call DCFS on people because you see kids in the background and the house just looks trashed. And they're like, I'm calling the authorities on this person trying to sell their end table.
Oh my gosh.
But if you like messy stuff, check that page out. It's disgusting.
You seen the posts of people trying to sell their mirrors? And it's like guys in their underwear. Yes. Or they're like, all you see is a hand because they're trying to, or they don't give a shit. They're just standing in front of it like selling this mirror.
Naked.
Okay, I have another funny thing about this. So, I didn't even think about this. So I have a scale, like a weight scale that Steven and I use because we're trying to, like, we have a little like goal in mind. Like I want to become his weight and he wants to become mine. So we're trying to swap, right?
Which he's gaining, super muscly.
And he had a very nice post on Instagram it was very solid. Like he's like, it's really good. It's like very inspirational.
I need to get him off my Snapchat because I'm like, this is inappropriate.
Stop it.
He's so muscly. He
doesn't do anything inappropriate.
Just cover up his face. Like, damn.
He is very committed.
He is very muscly.
It's very good for his mental health. It's very, very
Makes
good.
Me uncomfortable.
Anyways,
to look at him.
oh my God. So we're trying to swap. We're trying to swap weights. I want to be him and he wants to gain weight and be mine. Anyways, so I'm scrolling through and some lady was like, hey, we're going to post like the weight loss challenge, all this kind of stuff. And she's setting the rules. And like number 3 was, if you take a picture of the scale and you have a glass scale, please make sure you are wearing shorts and a tank top. We've had some oopses before. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I've posted that a couple times after a run where I'm just like whip it all off, getting ready for the shower, and I weigh myself naked. And I'm like Snapchatting friends going, hey, this is what I weigh now.
Look at my titties.
Oh my God.
Look at my bush.
Here's my weight in my crotch, So for all of those listening, if you're going to take a picture of your weights and you have a glass scale, wear some shorts.
It's like the flash goes off and you see it all of a sudden. Oh, shit, that's my titties.
I know Shannon. She's been doing like all her weight loss and whatever she's doing. Like she's doing no carb like you.
Shit.
Shannon, if you're listening this week, I know she's on vacation right now.
Make sure you
unless you want everybody to see your titties. So funny.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's go to number 7.
Okay, what is it?
Purchasing manager. Stores don't end up with products at random. They are specifically selected by a purchasing manager.
How is that different from a purchaser?
Well, you manage those that are purchasing. So you want to make sure. And that would be very stressful for me. But let's go back. So the median annual salary for a purchasing manager is $121,000.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. That is great. So you supervise a team of purchasing agents or buyers.
You probably drink a lot of wine and call people angry every night.
Maybe. I would think so.
Why don't we have any celery?
I know a purchasing manager and he has alopecia in his beard.
Yeah.
Like he's losing hair. He is a very big whiskey drinker.
Yeah.
He has gained a lot of weight. He says he's overweight. I mean, he always looks fine to me, but he has gained like 75 pounds from stress eating, and it's very stressful. He just looks stressed in his eyes. But if that doesn't bother you, you can make $121,000.
Yeah, that's generally purchasing managers, one of the highest paying retail jobs around.
Yeah. So we were also talking about that at work, I believe. We were talking about being just a buyer, like a purchasing or a buyer. And, you just make that one, like you think that this is going to work. So you're like, yes, send me pallets. We'll get them out to the stores, and then they don't sell.
Yeah.
What happens after that? You know what I mean? Then you got to put them on promo or sale or you know what I mean? So you can't make too many of those mistakes. I can't even imagine.
Okay, because that was when I was doing the meat reset today, and she was freaking out about her ground turkey. And she goes, they just sent me 3 cases of ground turkey that goes out in 3 days.
Oh my gosh. Yep, rotating the warehouse. That's what happens.
Or they ordered 3 pallets thinking they would sell, and they only sold 1.
We had one buyer, so not a purchasing manager, but a buyer that ordered fish. And they thought, oh yeah, Lent's coming up. Let's do it. 2 truckloads later, they only sold a quarter of a truck.
Oh, no.
What do you do with all of it? So you got to keep sending it out to the stores. So that was a big oops. Yeah. Not our company,
Whoops.
but yeah. So now this one says a customer service supervisor, which I'm not sure. I mean, because we were frontline management.
Oh, yeah.
And it's saying that it's an average of $64,000 a year. Okay. I don't think we ever saw that.
No, we did not.
Although I feel
our
like
boss
did. Yes, that's what I was just going to say.
Who was our boss right under the store director?
Yeah, like a lines. Like they're in charge of like a certain line in the store. Yeah. Maybe. Very possible. I'm not sure. I never got there. I left before that. So, and then let's go to, I'm going to skip a few. I'm just going to skip a few. Let's go to store manager.
Yeah, because, when you sent me this earlier saying this is what we were going to talk about, and it's like store manager, that's like the store director.
Right.
And look at their salary.
Yeah, it says that generally speaking, retail store managers earn an average of $62,000 a year.
How do they earn less? Less.
However, the top 10% bring in more than $82,000. I feel like that's not enough for a store manager.
Fuck no.
You know, you may have a store that brings in millions a week.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago when we were at our store, it was like 1.2 million, 1.9 million was a great week.
Yes.
You know, and then you're only going to pay this store manager that makes sure everything's out.
And make sure the store doesn't fucking burn
I don't know. Store directors can tell us otherwise, or store managers can tell. But again, this is an average. So we're talking smaller and big box, and who knows, right? There's lots of stores that you can manage. There's small mom and pop shops. I don't know. So this is an average. So you know that
small
you
mom
have
and pop shops are going to pay you $50,000 a year.
Yeah, maybe. So this next one is a regional manager. So they're in charge of those store directors, right?
Yes. So they have
upper management roles.
14 stores they're in charge of.
Average price. Average price for a regional manager is coming in at $147,000.
That sounds about right.
With salaries about $223,000 for the top 10%.
That sounds right.
So work your way up, retail peeps, and become a regional. I would not want that stress.
They're such dicks.
I would not want that stress.
They're
no
such
thanks.
assholes.
No way. No
Ew,
way.
we had one. I hated him so much.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody knows
he would always flex his butt cheeks. Do you remember that? He would stand.
Yeah.
He would stand and rock and flex his butt cheeks.
Yes.
I don't know why.
It was very weird.
It was like when he was thinking. And I heard that it was from his school.
You pointed it out to me, and then I noticed. And he always wore a suit jacket, and he would always, while he was rocking, he would close his suit jacket and fold his arms over, and then he'd start talking with his hands. So his suit jacket would come open, and then he would fold his suit jacket closed and then hold it with his hands, and then he'd start talking with his hands and it'd come open again. And he'd just do that over and over, and then he would fix his glasses.
Yeah.
Fix his glasses. And I was like, I fucking hate you.
But then you wonder, like, is that like a stress?
I'm sure.
He's probably stressed about everything that people are saying. He probably doesn't care what anyone's saying to him.
He was
because he knows the numbers. He knows what's good in that store, and he doesn't want to hear any excuses.
He was flexing his butt because he was pushing his hemorrhoids back up.
Oh my God.
Because he probably stress poops everywhere.
Oh my gosh. No.
He's got Bernie butthole.
Oh, the last one on here is retail franchise owner. So I feel like that's like completely different.
The owner.
Yeah, that's the owner, and it's saying
store.
An average around 64,000. So if you want to own your own, so what would that be like? Own a chain? Own a chain, right?
Ew, 64,000.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I would definitely have hemorrhoids owning a McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. No thanks.
No way.
So there you have it. Well, we didn't go through the top 15. So once again, I'm going to say, if you're not happy where you're working, or if you're ready to rock and roll in a new role, position, whatever, go get it.
Go for it.
They are still hiring.
Everybody's hiring.
Go out there and do it.
Nobody
can do
wants
it.
to work.
If you're not happy with your pay, if you're not happy with your boss, if you're not happy with your coworkers, go.
I feel like
don't be afraid.
Now is the best time to walk in and demand more money.
Let's just give our phone numbers out. They can use us as referrals.
No. You're like, who?
Just put the Clopen Effect referred you. There will be no questions asked. You will get the job.
Because we're basically famous already.
We're basically famous. Don't even worry about it.
Basically famous.
So listen.
What?
I hope no one's sad about what they're getting paid. going through these salaries.
And if you are, fucking go get a better job. You can do it.
You can do it.
We have confidence in you.
Yeah. And if you need anything, send us a message. We will send you an encouraging, you can do it kind of message.
Maybe Meredith will, but I'll just be like, stop bitching, go get a new job.
And then I always screenshot it and send it to Cass. Well, thanks for listening yet again.
We're going to bed now.
Holy cow. 64 weeks we've been doing this.
That's
a lot of stuff.
I thought you were going to say we've already worked 64 hours this week.
Well, then times that by 4 because that's how long we've worked on this podcast.
I feel like I've worked 64 hours this week.
It's only Wednesday right now for us. Hopefully it hasn't felt like you've worked 64 hours on a Friday there, listeners.
Oh, geez.
Oh, man. Well, thanks so much for everyone that's listening. Thanks to our new followers and listeners and all that fun stuff.
Hey, we're going to Kishwaukee, too.
We are.
Maybe we'll make a Facebook announcement where we're going to go.
Yep.
And maybe if some people want to meet us up there.
That would be great.
That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
If anybody wants to see us in real life, if you don't already every week. Okay.
That's pretty much who listens is our friends.
Yeah. We're going to post it on Facebook when we're going. So be ready.
But go visit anyways.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.